What is going on, everybody? It's me, it's RDV, and I'm back here with Easy Eric Breen, or whatever you prefer, back issues. What do you have today, right?
Um, Nothing.
No, that's good. Just comic books,
Just comic books.
and we all have a lot of them. Well, maybe you have less than I do. We'll go.
Well, I think all three of us have.
Yeah,
Is I can't remember any of the three of us ever having more in one week than
yeah. Then everything's dropped this week, and I picked up. And my problem is that I'm picking up books and that are miniseries that keep popping up. So I'm starting new things. And and like one thing ends, I grab three more books. I'm gonna stop dropping down and not doing as much anymore. I didn't even get sanction number two. I thought about it. I'm just gonna wait for the trade because I get way too many books here. I'm at a fourth of a short box ready, just from 1 week. It's crazy. That being said, I'm gonna quickly show my books here, and hello to anybody's here that's watching. And if you can, hit that like button, subscribe, and do all that cool stuff. If you want to help with the channel, you can go through the Ko-Fi link, which is actually in the description, or scrolling right here. You can do that, or you can leave a super chat, whatever you want to do. So I'll leave it up for a little bit, and then I'll turn it off, and then I'll bring it on towards the end of the stream. So it's not like distracting. I hate that when you see something going across. It's on ESPN. You don't need to see it. It's not sports updates. So one more time, and I'll turn it off. But in the meantime,
let's welcome Jay.
Let's welcome Jay. This is my book. This is issue number. This is number 21 for the week. I got top 20, bro. And,
that was literally the worst book you read this week.
No. It's just I have so many books.
Order. Okay.
No particular order towards the end here because I like all of them mostly the same. I have my lowest score in anything for the books this week was about a 4-star. So majority of books I got were 4 stars, and then I got a couple 5s. So I'm trying to be fair, But and hello to Jackson Raykirk. So number 21, this, and I did get the alternate cover too as well. I wanted to get both. I got this one first because I didn't see this one in my shop. Luckily, when I have 2 shops, this was the only one left. So I'm okay with having both. So if I ever sell the set, I at least got the 2 variants. All right. Number 20 for this week for me. Grim Fairy Tales, number 85. Did not know that that this is going to be an ongoing thing with as far as having Belle basically guest starring. The previous issue, which was 84, which I thought was the first one, turns out there's one before that, so I both hunted out. But I actually might get into reading the Grim Fairy Tales because it seems like it's a lot of team ups, different issues with different girls in the series. This is kind of cool. But fun book. Number 19 this week. Resident Alien, Book of Life. Starting a new chapter in this series. Last series, at the end we found that Astra is actually pregnant with Harry's baby. This is going to be a cross-species baby if they go with it. This is issue 1 of 4 miniseries by Peter Hogan and Stephen Parkhouse. Very, very fun show, but the book is going a more serious route, which I actually like. I can enjoy the book, enjoy the show. All right. Number 18. Ghostbusters Back in Town. This is wrapped up then for the miniseries. Not the best art of the interior here. I mean, it's very childish, but it kind of wrapped up pretty well, I guess, decently enough. But because all this is basically a story that takes place in Afterlife and Frozen Empire, which is out on should be on release on DVD soon. But so. Number 17. Ultimate Black Panther, which me is kind of the weakest of the. I wouldn't say the weakest. I'd say Ultimate X is the weakest of the Ultimate line so far. But I guess say this is unexciting as Ultimate Spider-Man right now. Ultimate Spider-Man has been by far the best. This has had its moments. You're getting Storm, you're getting T'Challa, you're getting Khonshu and Rob, but and apparently there and when they get a story about vibranium when it entered the Earth's atmosphere billions of years ago, whatever you want to call it. Uh, vibranium crash landed, but also some other anti-vibranium thing. So that's what Khonshu and the gods are after, because basically they can create their own version. But overall, it was all right. That was 17, right? Was that? Yeah. I lost count. Whatever. Wolverine. And the Poor Knights, the final issue. Yeah, it's the cover looks gives a little more muscle, but if you look at the interior art and the inside, she's actually got a feminine body.
What an idiot! Not you.
Okay.
But, guy walks on 4 pitches, so the next batter swings at the first one.
I like this because Wolverine and basically with his healing factor, once he gets hit by a blast, his healing factor kind of kicks in. It's been kind of it's been negated through most of this miniseries, but it's working in. And Wolverine pretty much makes a deal with the demons, because they basically want to, he's like, if you guys don't freaking let us go, get these demons out of here and leave, me and my friends here, we're going to go into your dimension and we're just going to start killing the whole entire hand and you're going to hate us for eternity. So basically Wolverine, Wolverine calls his bluff, and because he's showing you basically this is what it's going to be like. We're going to destroy the hand. You'll never stop us. The demon basically rethinks, its strategy and returns it back to normal. So, but I liked it for a decent ending, And then they remembered, hey, Psylocke's in this, and so is so is Triple E. Where's he in here? Yep. Fun. Like I said, funny issue. I like this series. 15. Could be a possible huge major character death in this from the series in here. Someone gets basically rammed through with a symbiote spike. I don't know if it'll be permanent. Some people aren't liking it. We get President Doom in 2009. Basically goes again. What's his name? Miguel's brother, and says you need to go talk to your. You're the only one who can reach to your brother and get him out of the symbiote and stuff, free him. And he kind of does. We get a lot of what's her name? Doctor Strange in here, 2099 here as well, which I thought was kind of cool. Sure. Yeah, she's over here. And I love it because she's doing the astral projector for him, but basically talks some sense into him, reminds him that, hey, you don't murder people, you're a hero, but overall, Miguel's brother gets run through and behind by a Venom. Yeah. And if you're not really following this series, Miguel's brother just learned that his mother had an affair with a Stone. I forget what his name is. Not Elias Stone. I forget what his name is. But the guy who originally had an Alchemax. And then that Venom, the guy who's actually I forget who the Venom is, who actually is inside Eddie Brock, obviously he's in the future. But apparently, he's a half brother of Miguel. All right, 14. Midnight Suns. Because Marvel sucks, Johnny Blaze does not become Ghost Rider here. Only Danny Ketch can, which is all right. I mean, having just one writer is okay. Having them in this series is kind of weird, but we get that girl you were talking about. what's her name? Victoria Montesi, basically teaming up with Tulip from the previous series, from the Blade series. This is Brian Edward Hill writing this, so it's actually getting a little follow up with the character. That because usually when people switch titles, the character might have a supporting character kind of falls to the wind. I like that this character is actually brought into another series with the writers. They go to this hospital. This vampire basically is gonna he starts cutting its face open. And he starts peeling its skin off, and he's gonna attack the nurse there. And you're like, oh shit, she's gonna die and stuff. And at this hospital, and all of a sudden, here comes the writer, and just fucking drags him. I love this.
Yeah, I can tell this is a modern comic
because there's no narrator.
No, the nurse would have been hot if this had been done in the 70s.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I'll say Johnny Blaze not being Ghost Rider and Danny Ketch being Ghost Rider is one of the rare exceptions, as far as I'm concerned, where it's okay because Johnny Blaze has an identity outside the Ghost Rider now because of what they did in the 90s.
Yep.
Danny Ketch really doesn't.
No.
It's when they go farther down with Ghost Driver, fat lesbian Ghost Rider. But Danny Ketch is to me is a perfectly fine Ghost Rider.
So, but he still has Hellfire though. This is a shotgun. So when Blade jumps in, he just shoots him with the freaking shotgun Hellfire, and causes Blade to basically leave and go into the bats and leave. But they basically realize that Montesi says, no, it's a distraction. We need to stay here because there's a sleeper of hell here. Basically, I'm guessing there's a hellmouth there, or something like that. But overall, it's all right. I am scared this though because it's Jason Liu. I don't know who Jason Liu is, what he's done, but he's doing World by Night #1 in August. Yeah. It's going to be in a red band thing. That's their new thing now, a red band format. Which is kind of returned to Punisher Max, kind of like that sense. Because they're getting more gore now, but... All right. That was what, number 14? No, that was 15. Right? Yeah, this is 14. All right. X-Men 97 wraps up here. Once again, Steve Fox, maybe just his name's on the title, or he was actually just told, you know what? You gotta adhere to what they did in the actual cartoon. They're having basically a baby shower at basically Jean Grey's parents' house stuff, and then the Marauders attack. And basically it ends up with basically them just beating the shit out of the Marauders. Wolverine gets the idea. It's he gets because Cyclops still wants to lead the team, even though Storm is pretty much leader at this point, at least in this series. And Storm says, it's dude, why don't you listen to the guy who's been around longer than you? I'm sure he has some strategies. Basically saying it's that Cyclops. So basically, Wolverine says, look, I'm not doing your fancy ballet your technique, whatever, your basically your things. He's like, how about we just trade partners? Which is kind of cliche. It's not the first time people have done this, where you're so evenly matched with your opponent, so you switch partners because then it throws them off. So I thought it was kind of cool for the action, and it's the same style art you get that's actually in here. Morph turns into Juggernaut, and then he turns into
Juggernaut, bitch.
Yep. The fight. Yep. It's so weird because it's like he still keeps his face behind the thing. But I thought it was great.
I just got text that said that Joe's operating system's already shutting down.
Joe,
the debate is going on tonight. That's why nobody's here.
Oh, I'm thinking of well, here's a blast from the 80s.
Hey, yeah, that was the best year. That was the year I was born.
That's the look you're going for with the red shirt and you got
what year were you born, Zach?
88.
That is my favorite year.
That was a good year.
I was 3 years old.
I might have to rescind that now. But
All right.
How many books has he gone through? I think he had more books than I did.
we're on. He's doing
On
he's
12.
doing on stealth tonight.
You only had 12? I actually got more books than you.
I'm at 50. I've gone from 21 to 12 in the 15 minutes.
Shh, you bought 21
He's a
books?
Rush album.
Holy cow.
Right?
Holy cow.
Yeah. This is a fun book. Sequel to There Be Giants. Beginning, it talks about feudal Japan, how this guy, his master was defeated by the dragon. So he goes this swordsmith to basically make me this sword out of this meteorite that crashed on Earth. And he basically is like, I got the sword now. I'm gonna go get revenge for my honor. And he cuts Godzilla's basically leg. He's like, ha! I made you bleed. Something that no one's able to do. And Godzilla's just like, you're dead. He just burns him. But they said like, well, is that the samurai even because the guy who's telling the story is like, well, they say it's like he managed to move the immovable, and sometimes that is enough. And you get to see like the cult that worships by all these guys, and then it goes to 1801. So we're moving up. We're on the east side. July 1804, July 2nd.
Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah. This guy approaches this guy. They have a duel. For some reason, the guy shoots in the air, and then he shoots and kills the guy.
Yeah, that's Hamilton and Burr.
Yeah. But on the guy in the red, they find that he had a coin, a Godzilla coin, which dates all the way back to when the Romans, he talks about how the fall of the Romans were destroyed by Godzilla. That's why the Roman Empire fell. Because Godzilla took them out. And so... it gets just really cool. Remember that Colosseum? Remember it's partially destroyed? That's because back in time, Godzilla freaking destroyed it by walking through it. I love this. It's also, if you see the new Godzilla movie, remember he curls inside there? It's the same freaking building, same monument. It's all tied together. I love it. Frank Thierry's awesome. I love him. So the guy tells a story. He's like, and the guy's like, well, we can't talk here. And of course, when someone says, let's go somewhere private, at the guy, you get kidnapped. Put over him. It's like, you're going to take him towards the court, and they're going to interrogate him. Like, how do you find out? Because, but I think I'm fun with this. This is a fun book by IDW. All right, number 11. Real quickly, Ninja Turtles wraps up. Really cool. Get a lot of fourth wall breaking in here. Something that Deadpool writers are not be able to understand is how to actually do a good fourth wall breaking and actually keep the story entertaining and fun. Because the whole story is about this imp who's upset because the turtles keep breaking fourth wall. So basically he wants to erase from existence. He even goes to the writers and says, it's like, what do you mean I can't destroy them? He's like, well, technically they're popular, so we can't cancel them. So there's a lot of humor in this, tongue-in-cheek humor. But that's what you get from Eric Burnham. This is the guy who did the Ghostbusters stuff at AEW. So, all right. That was number what? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Number 10. Moon Knight. Another fun book. Bad Blood was a lot better. For certain reasons. About 3 different reasons. But been liking this. This is more on recent soldier than basically because they're vampires basically trying to rescue people by bringing them into the Midnight Mansion, which is like the TARDIS. It's bigger than the inside. So they've been keeping there, and this basically how the woman that basically had to turn them and stuff wants them like, well, you can come to our area and we'll keep you safe. He's like, no, we're doing what Moon Knight would do. We're doing what he taught us to do. And they got his silver blades, swords, and they're cutting down, taking and rescuing as many people as they can. They're gonna, So I kind of like that, the respect, But it was kind of weird. I'm like, well, Moon Knight's not in this. Was he ever coming back? He's dead. So I mean, we'll get to that.
Still mad that I didn't even know that issue 4 came out.
Yeah. Number 9 for me. Superman. Obviously, Action Comics is a lot higher on my list because I liked it more. This was still a good thing. Honestly, they should be just one issue. It should be double size, 48 pages.
That was the finale. So you ranked the other one higher than the finale?
Yeah. what it
Bold
is.
choice. Bold choice.
I mean, a lot of good art here. A lot of people again fighting. Lex Luthor does something that we've been hoping that he would do. Now, the only problem is this is with absolute power in the events of this, I'm not going to spoil it. Will Lex return to his evil ways? Or will he somehow just stay where he is? They'll just ignore them for the next 10 years or a year until they reboot everything. But
how's he going to return to his evil ways when he doesn't even know who he is?
that's the thing, though. Maybe the evil parts start coming back.
No, being grim was the thing.
All right.
Now, there was one thing in Superman I didn't like. Did you see the page where Doomsday, where they're
Yes,
I like that.
That's kind of. I don't want to say that, but that's why it's farther down.
Doomsday's in.
I don't want to see that again.
I dug that.
They can't top it. It's gonna just not. It's just gonna be shit.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Oh, interesting.
I've
You're getting way more tie-ins for Bloodhunt than I am.
Because normally this is a book I would get. I don't really give a shit about Union Jack, but what Union Jack's been doing has just been badass. He's been more Punisher than Frank's been in the past 10 years.
It's so weird because he's also gay too.
Aunt May's been more Punisher than Frank Castle has in the last 10 years.
So, and I like this because he's kind of feeling he's been pulled up here. He's been helping all these people he rescued last year. Now the vampires here. And because they're ordered by Blade to basically take him out because he's resisting them. Basically, his friend, as you see here, Bulldog, what they did to him, like he was turned and then they gouged his eyes out.
Ugh.
And that's why he has these spikes on his head.
No.
And we get to learn finally through these vampires, like that they are all being brainwashed to think that that people don't like them. They should always be evil, be selfish. They're not. So they're actually not automatically just evil. It's just they hear a voice, and that's basically whatever Blade or whatever evil talking to them. He ignores it because he sees how his friend's basically trying to keep him alive, and he actually ends up rescuing his friend. But what's great about this is Alan here. He's like, he's got to protect. It's not even his family, he's like, I'm not going to sit there and watch these vampires kill these people. So he takes one of the swords that Union Jack has, because Union Jack basically stole the weapons from the museum in London. He's got all these medieval weapons, and he basically does what he can. He becomes a man and basically, stands up for the women, and ends up pretty much dying for it, but only after getting some cool wax in there and kills stuff. The other girl is so frightened, basically she can't stand there doing anything. She just she grabs the holy water and just kind of dumps on the ground. I'm like, why don't you just throw it? But she lures the vampires in there. They burn. And you see the guy. He's just being ripped apart. Still, sucks. But
that's honestly, what vampires do.
I know, right? Well, I mean, I don't know what's worse, shark drowning. Maybe you can probably drown before you bleed out from a shark killing you. I imagine you probably
drowning still takes a long time to do. I'd want whatever was quicker.
Yeah, right. Well, anyway,
the shark would actually.
Jack's going against this guy. His staples in his stomach are starting to come out. He's basically wounded, and just as he's about to bite the big one, the girl is gonna the girl basically she's one of the constables. She's hesitant to shoot, but then something else happens. The guy basically gets his head cut off, and you see it's Bulldog. He says, and I love it. He's got the Dum Dum Dugan accent. I think he's Scottish or whatever. He's like inside and out. How about you and me quit moping and find the fucking thing who turned me into bleeding count? Fuck, I love they do that. He's like, and I saw so they're gonna team up even though he's a vampire. It's like, oh, this is kind of cool. I love this when they have vampires and you have this butcher Carl Urban types. It's just yeah. The last bleeding minute. All right, number 7 for this week. Creature from the Black Lagoon lives. Did not have the cover that I wanted. I wanted the other one, but I mean, I think that's only available. Like this one, this bottom one here, it's only available.
That one's cool. I wanted that one.
But I ended up going to one because I didn't want the main cover. The main cover is kind of like lame.
Yeah, the main one. That's the one I got.
So that's why I got this one.
That one's cool. That one looks like a movie poster. I dig that.
That's why I got it for. I was like, oh, this is so cool. Really enjoyed this. Was shocked to see the end, with the guy and stuff. But you see he's in the water, and you see that she's almost feel like it's gripping me in the water, and you see his hand, and I'm like, oh man, he's gonna pull her down and drown her, like, and all. It's like, I love this scene. Look at this page. Look at that.
That is pretty cool. That's a nice.
That is so
nice
cool.
Spread.
So, really awesome. All right, number 6. You're like, what is this?
That's Blood Rivals.
Exactly. Thank you. Because once I put it in there, I'm not gonna know what it is either. I look at the back.
Look at the dude who's up at the front. That's the guy.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you also got Hot Rod up there.
That's true. You do have Hot Rod, but the two in front are from Blood Rivals.
Is this who is the guy that's in here?
That is an excellent question. I will find out for you.
The robot, the Transformer is in here is really cool.
He's an Autobot. I know that much.
Yeah. I want to say it's not Cliff Jumper. It's something.
No, it's not Cliff Jumper. It's Springer. That's his name.
Springer. That's what his name is.
Like Jerry.
But I love it though. He's finally gets this puny little like thing. He's like, oh, I guess it took its leg and its arm off instead of being pinned by my sword and just fled. But I love it. And we get to learn more about the actual crystals, why they have it in there, more about the
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So the Reviver, they get to learn everything. And like, there's even a connection. He's like, you guys like, wait, because they mentioned the Springer. It's like, oh, the other out about Jetfire. He's like, wait, Jetfire? And he's like, oh, he just, whatever. It's other. It's kind of brushing it off.
Everybody knows everybody on Cybertron, I guess.
but now all the big bads are there because, like, and I guess their whole thing is that they want to promote unity. What is unity? But we don't know. But very, very funny issue. Like I said, I got this cover. The main cover is in the back. Shows you is the pink one. She's, I'm just loving this. Jason Howard and Annalisa Leone do the Connect cover F.
Leone.
All right. Now down to the top 5. We're like, what the hell can I have left?
I know. Well, I know one or two of them.
You should. I've never gone through that many books.
I still can't believe you got 7 more books than I did, and I had a huge week.
I'm not even put 2 back because I was gonna get a back issue and one of the books come out this week. I know that
like all my birthday money is gone because of this week.
Right? Yeah. Number 5 for this week for me. I'm just having fun with this, and you should be reading this.
I like the 28 days later.
I technically got this last week.
Yeah,
it's out this week.
Yeah, because you got it early, didn't you? You got several books early last week.
So
because I'm still mad at you for that. That's right.
I only got 2 books early. That was that.
You could have got 3 because there was a third one that I think was out early. It was a Real American Hero.
Oh no, it didn't.
I know you're not reading it though.
Well, they didn't have it in a shop. They only had this, and they had.
Oh really? Oh okay.
Anyway,
they only have fake ass American heroes at his shop.
No. They had Real Palestinian Hero. That's what they had.
God.
Anyway, so if you're not reading this series, this is about a group of cats who end up being taken up by the pound, and then the ambulance crashes with an animal across. They find out he has rabies. They don't know what rabies is because they're animals, but they finally make it back to their house. At the end of the last issue, they go in there. The one little kid, the little kitten over, is such a freaking idiot. And I'm thinking, like, he's the little kid from Walking Dead that's going to get everybody killed. That's how much I don't like him. Mommy! And here comes, So they're like, they finally make it in there. There's no food. They can't be in the house. We do get the so this little kid like basically starts chewing on the remote, turns on the TV, and and that's really great of how we get the update as far as the news, with the spreading the virus stuff. It's like if you have any animals, turn them over. You will get your pets towards the end if they after testing, you will get back at the end of this. And he's sitting there chewing on the remote and stuff, and then they start to hear this barking noise, and turns out the neighbor's dog is down there. He's like, "Oh, it's a neighbor's dog," and the kid's like, "No, we should let him. You should let him in. He's probably fine. So it's great." And they're like, "No, don't do that." And he opens the door, and the dog's got freaking rabies. But that they manage to open the door and basically pull a fast one over the dogs. Dogs are kind of dumb, even with rabies. He charges to the door. They open the door, and he goes out, and they close the door behind him. So they get rid of him. But then something else happens. One of the cats, the main three cats, finally succumbs to the scratch he got in the very first issue. It turns.
I don't like that.
And this nasty when they turn, they got like green snot, it's like coming out of their mom. It's like, ugh, their bloodshot red eyes. They do agree with it. Trista Fortner does a really good job in this. Really good series. If you haven't got it, Eric, I'm proud of you. You got your win, even though it's cheap.
Well, unless the bullpen gives up 9 runs.
Hey, a win is a win is a win.
They could.
That'd be on maximum.
Well, isn't that the PC world? You basically have to make it even for fair, so the umpires will say, you guys are beating them too badly. You have to give up some of your runs. I'm waiting for that PC world.
It's been crazy. Half the team is either hurt or out on maternity leave, or I guess for your guys, paternity leave.
Oh, I was gonna say.
True.
And the guy that was suspended for half a year for drug use, for PEDs, he was hitting about 130 in the minors, and he's come up tonight and just hitting the hell out of the ball in the majors. Go figure.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Number 4 for this week is Rook Exodus. Very fun book. Some action in here, but if anything, this is a more world building. It kind of reminded me of like a Hickman book. He's just adding more and more to this. We get to learn about the other wardens, and then it's gonna be great.
Have we been waiting like 2 issues for them to get there? Did they finally show up on the last page this time?
Yeah, they show you like they finally connect to the world grid, and they realize all these different wardens. There's a warden of locusts, a warden of rams, a warden of mountain goats. There's a warden of the stag, the deer. He goes to stag parties. Then there's the fox.
No elephants.
The spider. The buffalo. The jack.
I'd start singing the unicorn song if I remembered the lyrics.
The polar bear. The rooster. The mountain lion. The bear. And like, yeah. But yeah. The bear's coming. It's a necessity.
The bear.
Yeah. Now he's arrived.
Princess Python, what are you doing here?
I know, right? I saw that too. The python, your name's Ka. Really? That's on the nose.
That's pretty on the nose.
And Warhog, the new warden of the Boars. Because they basically this bear guy's been going around killing all the other wardens and collecting their helmets on the wall, like freaking Dr. Doom and the freaking old man Logan. So he's like, the one guy's like, "Can I finally wear the helmet?" He's like, "Fucking idiots!" He finally lets him win, so he lets him wear the helmet.
Fine.
All right. Top 3.
Top 3. I know what 2 of them are.
Do you?
Yes, I do. Just 2. I don't know about the 3rd.
Number 3 is Bloodhunt.
I knew that was one.
Really, really cool stuff in here. We get to learn the identity, who's been with Blade, what's going on. It goes back to Varney, the Bizarre Adventures. I believe it's 33 or 32. Basically, he's been as Doctor Strange and Clea basically go to Latveria, talk to Doom. He explains how Varney once tried to basically use a ritual, perform a ritual, and actually become inhabit Blade's vessel, but Blade resisted. This time, Blade didn't resist. So Varney's basically taking over Blade, and he basically wants to basically rule the entire world. They turn it into eternal darkness, blah blah blah, whatever. Cliche.
Cliche.
Pretty much at this point. But Doom says is like, oh, I can help you. I've been working on a plan. As far as I gadget all the mages, he's like, what? Yeah, all the kids from Strange Academy. All his mages.
I gotta say, because I read this at 7:00 this morning after Vinkman messaged me. I gotta say, I'm a fan of the deep cuts, and also the Strange Academy coming out of nowhere. I was like,
right?
that little Harry Potter for kids series didn't mean nothing. And Jed McKay was like, let's bring him. I appreciated that. It made sense.
He brought him back, and he's like, I need a mage. And he's like, there's only one thing I need for you to save us. And he's like, what? Make me the Sorcerer Supreme. And they're like, what?
That makes sense. That's a Doom thing. I see that.
And literally, they should reply back. Well, Clea already was Sorcerer Supreme, and she's stronger than you are. Why would we need you?
Because Clea doesn't have all the stuff in place like Doom does.
Well, that's the thing about one guy collects and the guy takes advantage. Anyway, but the biggest thing though that was really cool here, and I've been waiting for this. I'm so happy finally because I know as much as I love Moon Knight, the Adventures of Moon Knight. There's been new Moon Knight. Khonshu is restored. He's let out of his prison that he was put in there, I guess, for an event, War of the Realms or whatever, or something like the events of that. Khonshu is released by Tigra and the right hand of Khonshu. Hunter's Moon. They let him go out of there, and now he's free. The moon's back, and he brings back Mark. Mark has arrived with all the previous Moon Knights behind him, and they're basically just gonna kick some ass. It's kind of like Endgame, in a sense. Everybody's just popping out of nowhere now. That's what I'm waiting for, but
So Khonshu was locked up in Asgard during Jason Aaron's Avengers run, because during Jason Aaron's Avengers, Moon Knight had the power of the Phoenix for a minute and decided to attack Khonshu, and then Khonshu didn't. He had his power stolen. The Avengers beat him up, and they left him in Asgard. So that's how he ended up there.
Yeah, fuck Jason Aaron.
Although I heard his DuckTales book was actually good. Someone said his DuckTales book was actually decent.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious.
No, sorry. I'll pass. I'll read the call.
I'll check it out next week. I'll let you know.
Number 2 for this week. My Adventures of Superman.
I know what number 1 is. I know.
Action Comics. Action Comics was just fun this week. Need I say more?
That's a cool, creepy. He looks like blood. It looks like Bloodsport from the Suicide Squad movie.
Pretty much. He does we get to see more about Lena, who she is. I knew some stuff, but this gives a recap. I don't know if it's a retcon or whatsoever, if it's actually just recalling. But I thought it was really cool. He learns and he basically does helps her. Lex Luthor sacrifices his mortality.
It's so wild. I forgot she was Lena because she wasn't doing flirty, batting her eyes at Supergirl in every panel.
Well, no, this is Lena the daughter, not the sister.
I thought Lena in Supergirl was the daughter.
No. In Supergirl, that was his sister.
That was the sister. Ah, never mind. Doggone it. Mess up my jokes. All these Luthers.
What is the one from the original Action Comics? What was his sister name? He found he had a sister.
In Silver Age continuity, Lena is Lex Luthor's younger sister.
Is that the one that went to the jungle, lost her memory, and had a telepathic? She has telepathic control. There was one we read on the channel here, but
don't know. Anyway,
we learn about basically how he when he was an evil prick, Lex Luthor basically traded his daughter for some something exchanged from Brainiac, doesn't matter what it is, whether it's knowledge or power, whatever tech. Mm-hmm. And when he got his daughter back, he realized, he's like, I was an idiot, And so basically, he sacrifices himself, and you get a little touching moment at the end of here. Really, really fun series. Like I said, I'm probably not going to be around for absolute power. Sorry, Jeremy Adams, I like you, but
he's just writing one issue. I don't even
care.
Not even the absolute power. It's not the main one. It's something else.
My only problem is Josh Williams will be his next issue for Superman. Not this week's, but the next one after that is going to be a tie-in to Absolute Power.
But it's also a team-up between Superman and Zatanna. So I'm there.
As long as it's not Mariko Tamaki's Zatanna. All right, number 1 for the week for me.
Knew it.
Red Coat.
Called it.
Such a fantastic issue. Albert Einstein's Broken English, God bless his heart, is probably the best thing. But along with basically, not Benedict Arnold. Well, Benedict Arnold is in his book, but I'm trying to remember what Redcoat's name is. Beautiful art, beautiful story, a lot of humor, mystery, evil cult, and what more do you need? History. Oh, and also George Washington cutting down a cherry tree.
Cherry trees and apple trees.
Yeah.
Both are prevalent.
So that is it for me. 41 minutes is a new record for me.
That is actually pretty.
Really spending my books.
That is actually a pretty short amount of time.
But I do have one more though.
One more.
These aren't really new issues. These are just I got the Sean Phillips cover. He's doing connecting covers for The Walking Dead. So if you need some Sean Phillips covers, it's issue number 91. And because I wanted to try it out, I got facsimile.
Oh, that's cool.
So, and it even has the Spalding ad on the back. Ads are included. All right. For the 5 people watching at home, I hope you had fun. Who wants to go next?
Go ahead, Zach.
Go ahead, me. Why not? There's nobody here to make fun of me for this first purchase anyway.
I'm shocked.
So,
not a lot of people here.
I tell you, I wonder, they can't be watching the debate, right? It's not that entertaining. It can't be.
I don't know.
No, Biden's kicking his ass, so maybe it is.
Is it really?
Nah.
Or is he? I don't believe that at all. I think
he's hammering January 6th, and the crowd's eating it up, or the CNN people are eating it up, but then I think he's now going to the convicted felon shit, and that might hurt him everywhere but CNN, because everybody knows Biden's a fucking crook.
Well, I just hope it's kind of like Walter from Jeff Dunham, the Biden one, the puppet.
Speaking of crooks, so I'm mad because the girl at my comic shop recommended this issue, but not Bloodhunt, although she knows I'm reading Bloodhunt. But she recommended I pick up, so this is Absolute Power Ground Zero. This is the issue 0, I guess, because she knows that she saw I was reading Superman and it ties into this. So I did get this. This was not a good purchase. I did not get all bangers this week. I do not recommend this. There's some stuff. Some of it's mostly what you see in the preview pages, like Superman getting shot in the sky. Like that's in all the backs of all the DC books. There was one bit that amused me, and I'm going to say amused very lightly. So right now we all know Dreamer is the one from the Suicide Squad, right? So apparently,
yeah, he is.
Whatever. I'm just going to say Dreamer. Dreamer helped Amanda Waller take out Jay Nakamura. Remember that guy? I forgot that he existed. But Dreamer helped Amanda Waller take out his mom. And so now Gosling or whatever is sitting in prison, and he's all pissed at Dreamer because Dreamer is trying to protect Dreamer's family. It could only do that by helping Waller. So the gay dude and the trans character are like fighting each other, angry at each other. I was like, there's not a lot of
LGBT. What?
That's what I thought. I was like, there's not a lot of unity going on here, and we're still in June. Interesting. Other than that, this was pretty boring. There's no Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman in it.
There was another part in there too.
There was another part. There was this time travel-y guy from Batman Urban Knights or Urban Legends.
That's not the one I'm referring to.
What's the one that you're referring to?
Brainiac's Queen.
Oh, the Brainiac Queen. That part was actually interesting. I will say that part was more interesting to me because she takes the Queen. So, spoilers for the end of the House of Brainiac thing. Brainiac Queen shows up on Earth, doesn't have like any energy because the supers like drain all the power. So she's like very, very weak when she crashes on Earth. So Amanda Waller like takes her and kind of raises her across 20 years in virtual reality. It's really more like 20 hours, but it's like training her and brainwashing her to hate superheroes. That was kind of interesting. The time travel guy kind of was also interesting, but he's like a nobody. So nothing really held my interest there. So like I said,
for nobody except for Dreamer.
I'm very mad that the girl at the comic shop put this on my radar, but not Bloodhunt #4. So, boo.
Maybe she thought that was great. Maybe she likes Dreamer.
Maybe I don't know. This Creature of the Black Lagoon. Yeah, I got the boring one. This is the only one my shop had. I'm not gonna lie. This is a list of 14, and this is number 13. I liked parts of it, but yeah, that ending I wasn't a super huge fan of. Where like the serial killer guy that she's been chasing like mutilates his body to look like the Creature of the Black Lagoon. I thought that was kind of weird. I'm not sure how I feel about that. There's other parts of this that I liked, but that end page was kind of wonky. We're gonna see how that plays out. Number 12. Wolverine, Madripoor Nights. This wraps up the Madripoor Nights story. Pretty good story. I like that one shot where, so at the start of the issue, all three of them are possessed, but then Wolverine gets like half his body burned off, and it kind of gives him clarity, and he convinces the girl possessing all of them to let go. Pretty good issue. I think it ended weaker than it started. I thought it started a lot stronger, but it was still it was pretty enjoyable. If you like old school Wolverine and in that whole Madripoor era, I think it was pretty good. You probably would enjoy it. Number 11 is Ultimate Black Panther. This is issue number 5. Kind of getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere with this. So there's that mysterious green rock that basically just grows plants really fast, or it gives life. I thought that was pretty cool. It's kind of like an opposite to the vibranium. They called it like where vibranium is like this material. This is like a life or a flesh type of power. But yeah, I liked it though. This feels very Hickman. You talked about Hickman. This feels like it's laying down a lot of seeds like Hickman does. Although I don't think it balanced it with the action as well as Ultimates or Ultimate Spider-Man is. Number 10. I don't think you got this one. This is Blood Squad number 7. This is from Image, Joe Casey.
Never heard of it.
We're going to cut to the debate. Please no. Please no. Man, I thought I had made a mistake because I opened up the panel and the very first thing that I saw was Savage Dragon fighting. I was like, oh my god, did I buy a Savage Dragon book? But this is a flashback. It says right there. This is 1992.
It's a team up crossover event.
It's a team book. Blood Squad 7 was a team in the 90s with Image Comics. Back then, they were more of like a propaganda team, like just to get publicity and free press. In this, the relaunch, they're being assembled as more of like a undercover Black Ops program. One of the guys on the team is a serial killer. Who? You have to find out.
He killed Captain Crunch.
But check it out. They're doing the one thing, the only thing I want. Floating heads in the corner. They're the only ones doing it. Pretty good book, though. The art's good. I like the story so far. I thought it was Joe Kelly. And then I was like, oh, no, it's Joe Casey. It's the other Joe.
Joe Casey's a good writer, too.
Joe Casey's good. No, I like this. If I didn't like issue number 1, I wouldn't have come back for 2.
He's done some crime stories in the past.
Yeah. He's doing pretty good with this. I like it. I did pick up this. I saw this, and I thought, why not? I'll go for it. I'll pick it up on a whim. The kind of touched on this briefly. I was kind of tickled that it was Hamilton and Burr that it went to, because when I read that there was a duel in New Jersey, I was like, wait a second, I've seen the musical. I know this. I know this is who this is. So that's funny. The guy from the musical knew who Godzilla was. Also, the cult is cool. I kind of like the cult. They're very creepy. Assassin's Creed, very much. Very cool. We got Void Rivals, issue number 10. I really liked this issue because it had a little bit of everything. It had the action, but then it also had the world building, the explaining, like you said, the jewels in the foreheads, how they use the energon. Very, very cool stuff. Also, I thought we saw the girl like naked for like 2 pages, but it was like a hologram. So it's like, oh,
it's got the anime thing when they have like the Gundams, they talk to each other in their minds. They're always naked, remember?
yeah. Well, naked, but not like naked.
Like energy naked though.
Yeah, like what's her name from Halo? Here's another book I know you didn't.
Not what's her name? How dare you?
What's her name? Excuse me. That's also the name of a mall that used to be right by here. Another book that I know nobody on this panel got. I got the Thanos Annual. This is from Derek Landy, Salvador LaRocca doing some of the art. I think Sarah Pacelli also did a backup story in here. So, didn't realize that the Infinity Gauntlets are now people. They're not just jewels. They turned them into people. Star is one of them. Star is the reality gem.
I love her character. I love the fact that
her character is pretty good in this.
They created her as a villain, but she was awesome.
She's a villain that people want to be the hero. She's pretty good in this too. She when Thanos shows up to collect her, and because Thanos made a 7th Infinity Stone, the Death Stone, but he oddly enough he can't kill anybody with it. So he's trying. The whole thing opens up like he's trying to get Death's attention again, but Death is spurning him, so he can't even kill people with the Death Stone. So
we channel the power of the Marvel editors.
Yeah. So Thanos is like, well, maybe I just need to get all the Infinity Stones. So he goes around. He tries to kill Star, but then there's the time and the Space Stone show up. And they save her. So I'm not sure how that's going to plan out. I will say there's a backup story in here where Nighthawk. So at the end of the main story, the Death Stone just like yeets itself away from Thanos. It's like, screw you, I'm out of here. So now Thanos has no gems at all. So Nighthawk finds the Death Stone and he's able to use it to bring somebody back to life. It's kind of like Blackest Night in a weird way. I completely forgot about this character. No, kind of like Necron, but I
can't remember.
Necron was the guy from Blackest Night.
Okay.
Nighthawk brings back Phil Coulson. I'm surprised that Marvel remembered he was dead. But he's not like a zombie. He's just like back to life. So I'm actually kind of interested about that because I like Coulson as a character. I thought when they killed him, I thought it didn't make any sense at all. It was a mindless thing.
They did this in this book?
In this book, they brought back Phil Coulson. So I'm kind of surprised, like, if Deadpool's about to become a big deal again, are he and Coulson going to be buddies like they were? I'm kind of curious. I like Coulson, so.
I would love Deadpool just randomly comes up and kills him. Some things are meant to be dead.
Right. Well, that would be hilarious. Next up, this is Real American Heroes. So I know some shops got this early last week. But yeah.
Yeah. So I like the new version where she's kind of like Duke's girlfriend now.
Give it time. She may double cross him. I bet you $10 she does.
And then she has this kid.
Maybe. This was cool, though. This is actually really neat. So there's a team of G.I. Joes that are like staking out the Serpentor, the mutant Cobra Island, and they get found out, so they have to fight them off and make their getaway. So there's action in this, but then you also have, where's it at? So Destro is talking to Zartan. They're getting an alliance on. There's Baroness right there. Zartan. And Zartan, see, he thinks it's Zartan.
You don't mess with a Zartan.
It's not Zartan, though. It's one of Serpentor Khan's drones pretending to be Zartan. The real Zartan shows up. He's like, hey, this guy's pretending to be me. And Destro's like, yeah, I know. I'm going to kill him. But in the meantime, let's talk about an alliance. So it was a good issue. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Also, Baton Rouge gets name dropped a lot because that's where Cobra has a
What about
facility.
Remember that?
No, we're not doing that meme. This is not going to happen
no
here. There's
no.
There's none of that happening.
I didn't say anything like that. That's how we pronounce Saint Roque. Saint Roque.
St. Roque. Oh, I don't even know where that is in Louisiana. I know in DC they say it's in Louisiana. Like when they say Belle Reve, and where Belle Reve is, like I know that area. But when they say St. Roque, I have no idea where that is.
Is it anywhere near Baton?
No. If anywhere, I would think maybe it's in New Orleans, but I've never heard of it.
That's become a joke because we don't know how is it St. Roche or St. Roque or Roque or like so we just say St. Roque.
Saint Roque.
French.
I would imagine it's the French pronunciation. I would imagine. What are we down to even? Golly, you got a lot of books this week. Okay, this is number 6. This is number 6. Green Arrow number 13.
Oh, we got it. Of
course, it was Josh Williamson, and it's Green Arrow. Yes, I'm going to get
Final Green Arrow?
No, not the final one. It's still going to go on, I think. Or
he's dropping the books.
Williamson is not going to be on it, but I think Green Arrow is still going to go on. I don't know who's going to replace him.
I mean, we'll get someone even worse on the book.
Could get Jeremy Adams on the book.
I doubt it.
There's a whole family unit here, dude. If Jeremy Adams is writing the Arrow family,
I have a feeling that Jeremy Adams will probably go for JSA if he gets more than that.
He could do more than one. Who knows? Anyway, so this is cool. Ollie is like his whole family is back together, except for Roy, who takes Leanne to go and break Cheshire out of a high security prison. But Black Canary wakes up one morning and finds Ollie's gone. She's like, "Where's Ollie?" And they find out he's working for Amanda Waller.
When if Stephanie Phillips comes a new ongoing writer?
Why do you got to rain on people's parade? I'm enjoying, but hey, what would happen if Jeff Johns came off of Rook and replaced it with, I don't know, some other crappy writer, Tom Taylor? I don't know. What if Jeff Johns steals Tom Taylor from DC?
That would be the end of Ghost Machine.
Yeah, but you don't like to think about that, do you?
Oh, I still got Skybound.
Mm-hmm.
If one goes, I still have the other.
Peacemaker's in here, kind of being a dick to Ollie.
He's in every book. He is John Cena, Peacemaker. That's all he is now. It sucks.
He is John. I actually cannot read him without hearing John Cena's voice. There was one cool thing that I did like. The '90s comic fan in me liked,
right?
Where if Ollie isn't going to be the Green Arrow, Connor is going to take the mantle back. I actually kind of like this look for Connor.
I like how Connor keeps either becoming black or white.
I know they gotta be consistent with that tan.
Oh,
they do. Know. They also make a joke in here where Connor kicked Damian off a cliff from his Robin series, from Joshua Williamson's Robin series. They reference that in here. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. All right, top 5 is Redcoat number 3. Really like this issue. I like all the little historical tidbits. Like we mentioned, George Washington, Johnny Appleseed. There's some fun stuff in here going on with his story. I'm also liking the whole Einstein. Nobody can understand how he's talking. I actually have to double read the Einstein word bubbles because it's obnoxious. If we ever read that on a
channel, I want to be Einstein.
You can be him. I'm not going to at all. But really fun book. Really, really fun. Redcoat. Then we have Action Comics. This is issue number 5. This is the second to last chapter. Really cool stuff in here. I like what between this and the finale, I like what happens with Lobo, with his character, how his whole part in this wraps up. Connor Kent gets us time to shine. I think that's in this one, where Connor Kent basically shuts down the entire Brainiac skull using his tactile telekinesis. So this was a lot of fun. Loved this whole, and then like you mentioned, there's the whole. I think the backup story in this pretty much is the whole getting caught up between Lex and Lena and their relationship, which I thought was really an actual like useful backup story.
I'm glad that they both came out this time because otherwise, like a lot of these books are meant to be binge read sometimes. The story because if you wait
I could see that
month or 2 weeks.
Yeah, like if I read this all in a trade, it probably would be a lot better. I feel.
I like they would do it with Rook at least. I don't know about the other ones that the Red Coat, but they tell you previously. So I've been liking the Ghost Machine. They give you the previously on
You
the
see that every now and then in like World's Finest or some of the other books. They'll give you like a paragraph or two, but it's not like an in-depth.
No,
thing.
but it tells you what happened because I forgot
Yeah.
what happened to Rook.
Right. We got Moon Knight issue number 6. I really dug this issue. I like the Soldier and Reese story a lot because Soldier and Reese are vampires, and then you kind of touched on it. They're trying to
how Paul Soldier became a vampire and all that.
They re-go over how Soldier and Reese became vampires. I like that there's this one guy they're trying to save, but he doesn't trust them because they're vampires. And so rather than try to drag him out of his apartment, because that would look terrible, they just leave him there. But then Reese is like, well, Moon Knight wouldn't leave anyone, so she goes and just sits there until he agrees to come out.
I think
thought that was really cool. I thought that was a really cool story. I also like the fun bit in here with 8-Ball, of course, is just a fun character. I really like him.
I got you guys. It'll be fun.
Yeah, right. So really, really good book. Good character book.
8-Ball is I like the fact that Jed McKay is bringing characters that no one's using and actually using them well.
Yeah,
He's not like,
who remembers Varney? Who remembered that guy?
He's not bringing in old characters and then making them, out of character, retconning them. He's actually like just writing them fun.
Yeah. This is my number 2 this week.
Wolf.
I did really. This was the one I think that got me on board fully, where it does like the world building. Because before it's like, okay, what? There's like 4 or 5 wardens, maybe. No, there's like close to a dozen or so. But yeah, some of them, like the turtle guy. The turtle guy is pretty cool. I like the turtle guy. Yeah, this was really cool. Jason Fabok, the art that he's doing with this is fantastic. Also, his birds treat him like little jerks. Like they're eating food in front of him and he doesn't have any food. Like I thought that was pretty funny. Because like the wolves respect the girl to where she could even take off her helmet and the wolves will be fine. They're not going to attack or do anything funny.
He's like, yeah, the one still looks hungry right there. You sure he's calling her bullshit on that?
Yeah, but Rook is like, the birds are just eating fish in front of me because they know I'm hungry and they can. It's like, dang. That guy is just plumb out of luck. My number 1 book this week, though, is Superman, issue number 15, the finale of the House of Brainiac. This was just awesome. So many great things about this book. Superman, so it opens up Superman, Lobo, and Supergirl are fighting against Brainiac and his family. He's got the family kind of pretty much under his control. But then once Luthor shuts down Brainiac's memory, like his family becomes free, and then his family's just like, screw this guy, we're out of here. Like, was it Brainiac 5 is just like, nah, you don't get any mercy from us. And so Superman, though, does try to save Brainiac because that's what he does. Brainiac, actually, what happens is Brainiac puts the Queen on a space shuttle, and it's very much like it mirrors what Jor-El did with Superman. Like he sends off the Brainiac Queen to save her life instead of his. Although I'm sure Brainiac's not dead by any means. But yeah, really great ending to this story. I don't like so much that it leads right into absolute power, but I do like that the next issue is going to have Superman and Zatanna. This is also, by the way, the book that Joshua Williamson, so far that we know, is staying on. He is staying on to write Superman. So that is, I count that as a win.
It's kind of like the Mr. Freeze thing. So it's like, who suffers? The male, the end, and then the female survives.
Yeah. This was great. This was a great story. The Lex Luthor bit at the end, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Because, man, if they use this as an excuse, like if something dormant, some evil dormant part of his brain reemerges and he turns evil that way, I might be really disappointed.
His mother takes advantage of him?
Or if his...
turns it back to evil?
About her. Oh, that's a good point. I'm more curious than anything what they'll do with it. But I could see how he goes back to being evil, but that would really be a bummer because he's made really cool strides as a character. But anyway, that is all I have. I did order an omnibus. I don't know when it will be coming in. I ordered one off In Stock Trades. You'll just have to wait till it comes in before you can see what it is.
All righty, you know what that means. It's time for the main event. Enough talking.
The Breen is here.
All right, let's blow through these. Number 8. You and I. We already talked about that.
Ooh.
They mentioned Radic in there. They actually acknowledge the world building in that company, AWA.
Number 7, Creature from the Black Lagoon. I gotta admit, this is not, and this isn't going as well as Dracula.
Really?
I mean, it's still good, but it's, it's
So you're saying it doesn't suck?
There's nothing they can do in issue 4 to make this better than Dracula. I'm just hoping it can at least get in the ballpark.
Well, that's right. It's only 4 issues, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 6, Rook.
Nice.
Yes, I'm more. I mean, I'm not a big fan of dystopian futures, so it's got that going against it. It's a good book. Definitely plan to keep reading it. But I actually had 5 things I like better this week.
I want that as a movie.
Oh, you had a big week too. Shoot.
Well, number 5, Self-Help.
Oh.
This was just like bought on a whim, and it's about this self-help guru. I think his name is Darren Hall, maybe.
Yeah, Derek. Complete prick.
Yeah, Darren Hart and this guy Jerry Hauser, who's constantly mistaken for him. Well, of course, Darren Hart turns out to be kind of a prick, and he ends up. Jerry's an Uber driver, and Darren ends up in his car. And what we find out at the end of the issue, something happens. We find out Jerry's a prick too, and it's got an interesting setup for the series going forward.
Yeah,
I was actually didn't know what to expect this because I have no idea who any of these people are.
The only thing I was confused about was his ex-wife, Jerry's ex-wife. Like, did he get in an accident that caused problems or something? Did she die? Because the show that he talks about when he's talking to Derek, Jerry says in the shows shows a flashback to a woman and someone driving in the car, a blonde guy, and then they crash into a water or something like that, and then because he's been Jerry has a daughter, and she lives in his trailer home or trailer park area. So he works as an Uber. He never gets to see his daughter, but he creeps on her and watches her over the fence.
I'm guessing that she left him. That's probably what I'm taking. Taking that.
It was basically someone they worked together, and then things fell through.
Yeah. Number 4, Sanction. Really liking this series. The plot is progressing, and something very terrible may have happened at the end of the issue.
Oh no! I have to read it.
We'll have to find out. We'll have to wait till issue 3 to find out. Hopefully, it's not what I think it is, because that would kind of suck for Dimitrovich. But
yeah,
it's not looking good.
Damn,
Number 3, Redcoat. I really like this series. This is just fun. I mean, this guy's he's a ne'er-do-well. He's he's like the Tad Martin of comic book characters.
I like because he finally he's like, hey, I'm no longer hungry.
Number 2, Action Comics. Love the build-up leading to the finale. And, of course, the finale is my number 1. I really liked what, when Lex said, once upon a time I would have blah, 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 but I've learned that family's more important. I've said this many times. How do you make a character new and interesting after 80 years? I think this is the most interesting Lex since the mid-90s, when he was pretending to be his own son, and then when he resumed his identity, he became the guy that ended up becoming president. And some of the early rebirth, before he inevitably turned bad and formed the Legion of Doom again, or whatever the hell they did. Mm-hmm. If I'm with you, Zach, I'd be very disappointed if they use this as an excuse to turn him bad, because then he's just Lex as usual.
Right.
This one of the things that, to me, one of the main selling points of this book is Lex's progress towards redemption. Now, I don't know how many of Lex's past evil deeds were done by the Lex in this continuity. DC's so scrambled that I don't think anybody knows. But if you just choose to not really think too much about that, and you think, okay, this is a guy that could be redeemed, I like where they're going. This is the father-daughter dynamic, because it's got to come up. I mean, once I don't think it's going to turn bad again, at least not in the foreseeable future, because they've got to do there's a lot to be mined from Lex and Lena.
Mm-hmm.
Like, eventually she's going to say, why'd you give me the Brainiac, you son of a bitch? I mean, that's got it.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of work to do to make.
She could share some of her memories with him. That's why I kept thinking that might be where he restart his memory. But you're right. This is perfect Jean Grey hunting grounds right here. Let's change them.
But I personally don't think they will.
Not like
I think that
unless they get a different writer.
I think they've got a good thing going here, and finally, like I said, I did pick up Volume 2 of Crime Suspense Stories.
Ooh.
That's how I feel in winter.
70 plus years later, these stories still absolutely hold up. And I've said this a million times also. This is the best bargain in all of comics, because you get 6 EC issues for $20.
Is that Timeless Tony Storm's Butler?
I don't watch enough to the Butler.
He's the guy who's with the gloves on when she walks out.
Okay, but yeah, this is, like I said, I really look forward to each one of these that comes out, because they're the gold standard of these kind of comics. And I saw an article, a pretty lengthy article, about the new EC coming from Oni. I'm not quite as optimistic as I was before I started reading the article, because I think they might. I saw Stephanie Phillips is writing one of the stories, and so that'll suck. But
is she permanently on there, or just writing one story and then they're
hopefully it's just the one story, because they can't. Yes, with apologies, I know you guys, like I said, to me, Kelly Thompson is an average writer at best. I don't like seeing her on one of the lines of comics that I'm hoping will revitalize the industry. Stephanie Phillips makes Kelly Thompson look like Alan Moore. And so seeing her name pop up on something that I intended to buy is maybe I have to rethink that, unless she's just like one of 3 or 4 stories. They got Brian Azzarello, and that's a good thing, because his style of writing is, he should be able to adapt to EC.
Apparently, Megs is out for a while. You heard about Megs? Richard was talking about Megs is getting bottom surgery.
Yeah.
So don't expect Megs to be writing anytime soon. Then again,
I wouldn't expect them to get somebody like her, but whatever it is. But Stephanie Phillips, for some reason, has people convinced that she can write, and she can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only thing I liked from Stephanie Phillips that I actually own still is she did that pirate book.
A Man Among Ye, or
Man Among Ye.
Oh, I remember that.
It's okay. It was because here's the thing. It wasn't like changing anything. It wasn't changing history. It wasn't retconning any characters. It was not part of the superhero stuff. It was kind of a pirate thing, and that's probably why I liked it more, because I'm more into pirate books now. But it wasn't saying it wasn't the greatest, but it was okay.
Well, I say, if you're trying to revive a 70-year-old property that is still held in high esteem,
you
don't get Stephanie Phillips.
You get Brubaker.
Yeah, and I'm thinking this guy might be a little more ideologically driven than I was led to believe from when
he may just be naive. He may not know anything about the comic book industry whatsoever, and people are just telling him.
Well, he knows his EC.
Yeah.
So I hope that, like I said, I absolutely give it a shot when it comes out. But I said, we all got excited for the Boris Karloff revival. Yeah. And then they gave it to Steve Orlando. Interest gone.
There's a Boris Karloff book that's on the wall at the shop. Looks older though.
But
might be the tell.
Yeah, I last month went comic shopping. I picked up the first issue, which was actually called Thriller.
Yes.
But yeah, I said, you've got to come out guns blazing, because like I said, obviously there aren't any comic book readers left that were reading EC, because they'd be, even if they were kids, they'd be pushing 90 now.
Right.
Yeah.
But there are a large percentage of comic book fans that are very familiar with it, because it has absolutely stood the test of time. And I said, they can't afford a string of Stephanie Williamses or Phillips or whatever. Whatever.
Is there a difference at this point?
Well, I call him Pick a Stephanie. And I noticed where Doc appropriated that.
I mean, when it comes to Williams, like I only like Leah on the the X-Men spoof book?
Exterminators.
Other than that, her Power Girl sucks. But then again, so does Kelly Thompson's book over what was it, the Birds of Prey thing, which is even Birds of Prey. It's just
Kelly Thompson, Birds of Prey, yeah.
But I like Kelly Thompson outside of. I've been liking the Scarlet so far. I liked her when she worked on Answer the Call, which was actually taking the horrible female Ghostbusters movie from 2016, changing the characters and making them more likable, what they should have been in the movie, and having a crossover with the guys. I mean, so I'm not saying that Kelly Thompson is the best or Leah Thompson the best, but there is some editorial interference.
No, but you definitely, like I said, when you're trying to.
But when you're trying
to build something like the Energon universe,
you want to get the best.
If you absolutely feel like you had to have a woman writing, dial up Torn Groenbeck.
Is Joe Duffy still around? She's still with the right?
Or any of the ones that were writing great books 30 years ago.
Louise Simonson, I would get her.
And that's. I wouldn't have wanted Ann Nesenti, because she's a little.
She's changed.
She's always. Her politics were always on her sleeve. Now
they're on her pen.
Yeah, they're
her typewriter.
But that said, her writing would still be better than 90% of the guys.
That's true.
I've just been enjoying a lot of as far as I go back and I read like Catwoman, we did for Chuck Dixon, and but he go back before that, it was Joe Duffy, Jim Valenti, and Joe Duffy, phenomenal writer. Doesn't get enough credit.
No,
just kind of overlooked. Sucks. Where Ann Nesenti, she wrote the 1000th anniversary special for Elektra, 1000th issue. I was like, what the heck? Remember that a couple years ago? And
not really.
All she did was basically just ruin the character even more. But that said, there's a lot of writers out there that are no longer writing, or probably just been blacklisted from the actual being in Marvel and DC for their politics, or just because they won't play ball, or they want to.
Or if you're Joe Duffy, you're not going to come back because you were getting a higher page rate in 1987 than you are in 2024.
There's also an interesting thing that Carrie Andrews said during like a Mark Millar interview he did, where it's like a lot of the writers don't feel like they can be as creative with the risks they take because the editorial sets such a standard. It's like, no, you can't take any risks.
Well, you can't, because the editorial is terrified of the 12 psychos on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's why I was talking the other day. I said, whether it's writing or remember how Cassie Wonder Girl looked in Infinite Crisis?
Yes.
Oh yeah, the jeans and the tank top. Yeah.
Have you seen her lately? She had the high heel boots, the tight jeans, the tight top. Now she wears a hoodie, has a ponytail. Not even enough to fill a training bra and sneakers.
That's because you don't have Dave Hoover, you don't have Ed Benez,
No,
it's not that.
Editorial, but editorial got rid of these guys,
right? Because they know if they make a girl look like a girl, a woman look like a woman, the fat, unnatural hair-colored land whales that they're trying to appeal to will throw a fit, and they don't buy the books.
Right.
But it's like
it's the same thing.
The DEI, the ESG, whatever it is more important than
some people
sales.
were trying to cancel My Hero Academia because one of the girls, she has powers to float things. She's O'Hara or whatever. Houlihan? What was her name?
Uraraka.
Sorry, I don't remember that, but he can. I say Uyachaka. What? But anyway, because the artist now is drawing her much more taller, skinnier, and she's not like she was. She's looking more dull. They're like, oh, they're sexifying her, for the pedos and all that stuff. I said, no, they were in middle school. Now they're in high school, so of course she's gonna change. They all did. They all are slightly different. I mean, the one girl, basically, there's one girl. She's the one great stuff out of her. She's the one that shows up the most skin.
Two things.
But
for people that say that you want hot video game characters so you can fap to it, as someone pointed out, you need both hands to play the games. And as far as the comics themselves, yeah, that's what we've got the internet for. It's just simply if you're participating in a visual medium, you would like the visuals to be pleasing.
They also have no problem with like Poison Ivy looking feminine as long as she's with Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
right. And as long as she's punishing men.
Exactly.
Those are the rules at the big two.
Sorry.
Anyway,
I have nothing against guys doing whatever they want. I mean, if that's what they care. Some guys prefer non-real or imaginary cartoon over real women because look what today there isn't that much a selection.
Well, speaking of, before this devolves any further,
yes,
Zach, are you joining us tonight?
For what?
Comic.
Yeah, I should be able to tonight.
We will be.
What are we doing? What are we creating?
Silver Age, Green Lantern, Hal Jordan.
Oh, that's right. It's the one that beat New Warriors. That's right.
Everything beat New Warriors, Zach.
Yeah.
No, Devil Dinosaur didn't. Jack Kirby, Devil Dinosaur did not.
Wow, that's not the flex you think it is.
So, but if you haven't already done so, and we thank you all for being here, of course, we get the highest amount of numbers when we're at the end. Isn't that great?
That's how it goes.
Like the debate's over now, right?
Trump must have set his knockout line and put you on the ground already.
Must have, who knows? But if you haven't done so, please go to ko-fi.com and /Puppeteen. Don't drop $1 in there. Help us support the channel. Pay for the books that we use for the readings. Also check out the reading we did the other night, Teen Titans Go, the newest issue, 2 issues. And
did it without me.
We hit Pixel. It was okay.
Without me, I didn't even know you were going to read Teen Titans Go. I thought you were going to read something else.
But well, I mean, everybody has conflicting schedules. You have church, Trusty has trivia. You guys don't get out till later. The girls will be gone. They have to go to the Blacklist Universe. It's just what it is. But anyway, if you haven't already done so, punch that like button in the face, and always subscribe if you haven't done so, because you'll get more bad puns. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't have much else to go for it. If it's what you like, it's what you like. If you don't like this, still like it and hit subscribe. We'll see you guys in a few minutes over on I Love Comics. That's right, I Love Comics. We're talking about comic books on a channel called I Love Comics for the first time in 4 years.
It's shocking.
Positive things too. I know, isn't that great?
Also shocking.
All right. And Jackson Whitkirk, thank you for being a trooper and being here for the whole entire time. Marania right now is having issues right now. She doesn't have the money for internet, so right now she's offline. So if you guys, I don't have the link on me, but if you guys still know the link for her GoFundMe, she said she's she needs $150. If you guys want to, you're not obliged to. But if you want to help her out, you can do it. Please do that. That being said, until then, if we read Fantastic Four, somebody will have to be the Thing. But it'd be kind of weird, though. Anyway, see you later.
See you in the next room.
Later.
Stop back tomorrow for 2 more readings. Without Pixel or Puppeteer.